Welcome back, friends. Today we are going to focus on comparing decimals. So it's just saying which one is bigger, which one is smaller, or are they equal? So you will need your math notebook or folder, a pencil to write with, and don't forget that super brain of yours. Stay tuned for the video. All right, friends, we are going to compare decimals. So let us compare decimals. This is one of my favorite things to do with decimals because you would think it's hard by looking at them and you can get tricked, but it's not very challenging. These are the symbols that we need to look at, or that we will be using today rather. So these three symbols are what we need to see which decimal is smaller, which one is larger, are they equal, all of that fun stuff. Remember, when we are using these symbols, the alligator mouth, remember the teeth are coming out of it? The alligator mouth is eating the bigger number. It wants to eat that bigger number. So we're going to give it the food. So whichever one is bigger, that's the one that it's eating. And then the equal sign is just saying that there's even ground for both of them. So first set of questions. 12.8 compared to 12.35. Now, I love when I see these types of comparisons because most of you guys are going to say the 12.35 is the bigger number because it has more numbers in it. That is not true. The 12.35 is not the bigger number, but let's see why. So far we do have a 1 in the tens place for both of them. So that is so far is looking good. We have a 2 in the ones place for both of them. So far it's looking equal to me. I do see a decimal next for both of them. Still looking equal. Now the only part where I don't see equal is this 8 right here in the 10th place. This 8 compared to this 3 right here, the 8 is bigger. So this one is bigger, but this 3 is smaller. And just because the 3 has a 5 after it really doesn't mean anything. I just want to see which one is bigger in that place value. And the one is the 8. So since the 8 is bigger, I'm going to eat the 8. It really does not matter that these two numbers are longer than that 1 8. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is that the 8 is bigger than the 3. So let's do another one. We're going to compare this decimal again. Okay, this one's another one of my favorites. Whenever they put these up, they usually trick my friends, but I'm going to show you how to not get tricked. Again, we're going to compare each number with each place value. In the tens place, we have a 1 for both numbers. In the ones place, we have a 2 for both numbers. We have our decimal coming next. Now, in the tenths place, we both have an 8 here. So that's an 8, that's an 8. So far, it's still looking even. The only difference that I see is that there's no number here, and there's a 0 here. My favorite thing to say to my friends, 0 is the same as nothing. Just because you see nothing here does not mean that you can't put a 0 there and it's the same number. That 0 is the same as saying nothing. So these numbers are equal. It's just saying that there's 12 and 8 tenths, or you can say that there's 12 and 80 hundredths. That's saying the same thing. It's basically the same situation. There's an 8 in the tens place. There's a 2 in the ones place. There's a 1 in the tens place. The only difference is that it's saying that there's a 0 in the hundredths place for this number right here, and then it's saying that there's nothing in the hundredths place over here. That's still saying the same thing. 0 and nothing are the same. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, this time I'm going to have a series of numbers, and then we're going to put them in order from least to greatest. So that means from smallest to biggest. Excuse me. Okay, so we're putting these numbers from the smallest to the biggest. So looking at this, if I'm looking in the ones place, all of these have a number in the ones place. So this, I know there's no decimal, but 5 ones is just 5. This one there is a decimal, and I know that that 5 is in the ones place. Here has a 0 in the ones place. This has a 2. Well, this has 12 ones right here, or you can say it has a 2 in the ones place. So looking at this, I know that the 0.50 is going to be my smaller number. And then moving next, I would want to look at either my 5 here or my 5.75 here. Which one is bigger? Well, if we compare it, 5 in the ones place here is the same as 5 in the ones place here, but there's a 0 in the 10th place here, and there's a 7 here. So this one, since this 7 is bigger than 0, I'm going to put this 5 next because we're going from small to big. So this will be the second number, and then obviously the one that comes after it is our 5.75, because that would be the next biggest. And then lastly, it would be our 12.5, because 12 is bigger than 5. And that is how we put them in order, from smallest to biggest. And if we wanted to go from biggest to smallest, we would just start with the bigger number first and then work our way down to the smaller number. But look at the numbers that are in the place value. That's how we compare decimals. That's how we order decimals. That's how we do anything with seeing which decimal is bigger or not. Look at the different place values, see which numbers are in them. If the number is bigger in that place value, obviously that number is the bigger number. Hopefully this helped. If you need any more help, you know where to find me.